All right, James, thank you for coming on. It's another episode of Real Talk Live.
What's up, Joe? How's it going?
I'm good. How you doing tonight?
All right, man.
All right. Hopefully everybody else is okay. Hopefully you guys can take a break from the ugliness and whatever reality is setting in the last few days. Take a break and just come enjoy some entertainment news. Some good old-fashioned family fun is going to happen tonight. What do you think?
Well, I'm aware, that's for sure.
We are. And I really am glad that your camera is full length. It is full length.
So that's not just the camera.
Exactly. That's exactly what she said. All right. So let's dive in. You said you've had, and again, I'm assuming you have other stories that I don't have on here. I know you came up with, as far back as beginning of the week, you were coming up with shit. I was like, oh man,
the ones we went over, you know what you didn't have, and I did.
Right. I honestly don't remember what they were.
That's all right. No problem.
So if you can, let's go over some of the things that you have that you found out in the beginning of the week, or in the last couple of days. What do we got going on in the entertainment world?
Okay, so first things first, it was reported on Deadline Hollywood that the Safdie brothers, the two gentlemen behind the Netflix film Uncut Gems, which
right.
Adam Sandler did.
Okay.
They inked a first look TV deal with A24, which is their production company, and HBO.
Okay.
So it looks like they'll be working on a future television project with HBO.
All right. Any news on the amount of money, the deal itself?
No, not the deal itself, but that's pretty much all I got for that one.
Okay. All right. That's cool.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah, and if anybody hasn't seen Uncut Gems, it is obvious. It is
now available on Netflix. Before it wasn't. Yeah.
It's now available on Netflix. I think it's worth.
It was available in other countries outside the U.S. on Netflix,
okay.
but now it is in the U.S.
I got you. All right, what else you got?
Entertainment Weekly reported It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia renewed for a record-breaking 15th season.
Wow.
And the show will also address the current pandemic that's going on as we speak.
That's big news. That is a very big news. Obviously groundbreaking and record-breaking for a
sitcom.
For a sitcom, right, exactly. Honestly,
I love It's Always Sunny. I've loved it since I started watching it.
I do too. I
didn't watch from the very beginning, but I caught on. You guys put me on to it, you and your brothers.
I also binge watch. I also didn't watch it from the very beginning, but I'm not actually caught up. I honestly have to say I am not caught up. I have missed the last few seasons, so I definitely want to catch up because I do like the show. So any It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia fans, they should be excited about that.
Also, Screen Rant had reported earlier in the week that the possibility of the Bill and Ted Face the Music, the third installment of Bill and Ted, could skip its August release date, depending on whether or not they let people back into theaters, and go directly to video on demand.
Right. I mean, at this point, it literally sounds like a direct-to-video kind of movie anyway.
I mean, but I'm sure people were hoping to see it in theaters.
I wouldn't mind
about it.
Honestly, dude, if you told me it was going to be available on demand to rent right now at home, I would still watch it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I definitely want to watch it.
I don't think that's one of those movies that you have to see in theaters, although I would have.
But traditionally,
I would have went.
Yeah.
No, I would have went. I'm not saying I wouldn't have went. Yeah. Right. But I think either way, some movies have to, cut their losses, and some movies have to be like, all right, it would have been great to put in the movie theaters, but you just don't know what's happening in the next upcoming months.
Exactly. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. But I also got from Consequence of Sound, Apple has picked up Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
Which is that was the Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro.
Yep.
That's coming out.
Yep.
Everybody thought it was going to go into theaters. That's what I originally thought. But now
no. See, that's the thing. I've heard about this news.
Okay.
So Apple is staking the money, and they'll probably have exclusive rights to it once it goes to streaming. It's going to theaters.
So it's still going to go. So it's going to be like what Netflix did with
exactly like The Irishman.
The Irishman, exactly. Yeah.
What's up, Brian?
How's it going, Brian?
Hope you're having a good weekend. So and they paid about 180, I think, about 180 million.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, which is ridiculous for a Martin Scorsese movie. What do you need 180 million for?
Yeah. I mean, I want to know what Martin Scorsese's making to do it anyway.
I don't know, but yeah, I've heard those news. I've heard that news.
Also, Deadline Hollywood, and you know about this because we spoke about this. Cobra Kai closing in on a new streaming platform ahead of the season 3 release by Sony TV.
That was one of the stories that I was going to that I was also going to bring up. So I'm glad you mentioned it. Cobra Kai has been in fact dropped by YouTube. From what I've read and from what I've heard, YouTube will still own the rights to the season 3, but non-exclusive rights to the first 2 seasons, so they can be watched anywhere.
Okay.
And then whatever deal that they strike
good for people who don't have YouTube Red, that they're not subscribed. And
right. It's unknown which streaming service is going to actually pick it up.
Right.
But some of the front runners are, Netflix and Hulu. I'm wondering if I doubt it, but I'm wondering if Apple TV will also, step in and possibly
pick it up.
Yeah, pick it up because they have a lot of money to throw around as well. So who knows with that?
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Also, Deadline.com reported earlier today that the Rocky making of behind-the-scenes documentary, 40 Years of Rocky, The Birth of a Classic, will enter the digital on-demand ring on June 9th.
Yeah, which I still don't even know what that means. I've still yet to see. I looked.
It's a documentary of behind-the-scenes footage of Rocky.
No, the digital on-demand part is what I don't understand.
Oh, yeah, I got you. Yep.
I still don't know what the hell that means.
So it said, this is what I found out. It said Virgil Films and Entertainment is releasing the film. It is directed by Derek Wayne Johnson, who profiled the director of Rocky in his 2017 film, John G. Avildsen, which is the director of the original Rocky.
Yeah, John G. Avildsen, yeah.
King of the Underdogs. Avildsen, who died in 2017, captured his own 8mm footage during pre-production and shooting of his 1976 Best Picture Oscar winner. It forms the basis of new documentary, which is narrated by screenwriter and star Sylvester Stallone.
Okay.
So it seems like
so I'm wondering if it's like, remember that Aliens documentary I told you about that I rented to watch?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if it's like that. That you rent it for like $5, $6, and you watch it. It's a document. I really don't know.
I don't know.
But I'm interested.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I definitely want to check it out.
Yeah.
And also, I have just recently reported, BloodyDisgusting.com, Universal bringing the Wolfman back to life with Ryan Gosling attached to star and is on the hunt for a director. Yeah,
I also saw that. I saw that on YouTube last night as well. Somebody else reported it.
I like the last remake with, I don't know if you've seen it, with Benicio del Toro.
No.
I thought they did a really good job, and Anthony Hopkins was in it as well, which he's great in everything he's in, as far as I'm concerned.
The last Wolfman movie I watched was with Lon Chaney.
Oh, see, the original.
Yeah, I didn't even watch Wolf with
Nicholson. Oh, yeah. I love that movie.
And Pfeiffer. No, I've never even watched that.
I love that movie.
No, I couldn't picture Jack Nicholson in that role. I still can't.
Oh, he was great. I thought he was great.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to go over, and you probably know about this too, rumors and speculation. Possible Batman series in development for HBO Max with Affleck as Batman, Snyder directing, and Joe Manganiello as Deathstroke. Yeah,
that's another rumor and speculation. There's a lot of rumors and speculation in the DC world. We're gonna cover a couple of those as well, especially now that HBO Max has launched. and is a brand new platform, obviously for DC movies and the Warner Brothers. What do you call it? The whole Warner Brothers library, and because Warner Brothers and has the rights to DC, its movies, it's it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next year or two. So, yeah, that's I've heard that too as well.
I'm thinking you told me there's a lot of good stuff on there. I'm thinking about giving it a shot for the free trial.
Look, it's anybody that doesn't take advantage of at least the free trial, just see what it is. I mean, look, here's what you got to think. There's really not, as far as original content, there's really not anything there yet. Okay, and I know a lot of people are complaining about that. At least Disney Plus had The Mandalorian set up, right, and whatever. But then after that, people really died down with the Disney Plus because, you got the whole library of you got the whole vault of the original Disney films. But then, they started taking away some films, and and HBO Max is going to pretty much still do the same thing as well. But I told you what I watched. I watched a couple of episodes of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Right.
I watched a couple of episodes of Friends, which I've seen so many times. I was watching some old episodes of the Jetsons because they have all the old.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, they got Tom and Jerry, they got Looney Tunes, they got all the old.
Wow, they got Tom and Jerry.
Yeah. So, and then of course I told you they had the whole Nightmare on Elm Street series as well.
Right.
So I watched part 3, I watched part 4, I watched part 5, and I might sit and watch what do you call it the original, the first one later on tonight. But here's the thing: if you have HBO, you probably don't need to rush into getting HBO Max because yes, it has a lot more than HBO does. Because it's HBO, it's movie library, and obviously it's all its original series like The Sopranos, The Wire,
right.
Entourage. Everything will be available on HBO Max. So if you don't have HBO, it actually makes sense to get this.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have HBO, I don't.
HBO, that's the only thing. Yeah,
I don't see a big rush to get into it. You already can watch The Joker. You can already watch the newer movies that was released on HBO. You're just not going to have the Warner Brothers titles. That's it. Yeah. The original Michael Keaton Batman and Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin. Like, it has all these other DC movies.
Oh, that's all on there too?
Yeah. What it doesn't have, for some reason, is Man of Steel, and it doesn't have the original Christopher Reeve Superman.
Yeah.
Which I'm assuming that's going to happen. And then the other big thing, too, that everybody was complaining about, it's not available on Roku or Amazon Fire Stick.
Wow.
So I'm watching it through my Xbox One, which I don't mind because that's on my TV in my living room. But I can't watch it in my bedroom because I have Amazon Fire TV in the bedroom. So.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, yeah, that's, HBO Max is a big thing. And like I said, a lot of things are going to be linked and attached to it. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Especially, and I'll talk about more in depth in a little bit with J.J. Abrams, and as you said, Zack Snyder. Especially since they're going to be releasing the Snyder Cut.
That's going to be interesting.
Of Justice League. So, did you talk about the other thing that we were going to mention? Well, you're not done, right? Don't you have one more story?
No, that's pretty much it.
Wait, did we go over this last week about Scream 5?
Yeah, I mentioned that last week. That was last week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was
gotcha. All right. My bad. All right. Well,
you're up, brother. Yeah, it's all on you now.
So let's go back to this really quick. I don't know if everybody's been able to watch Cobra Kai. I think, and that's all I want to talk about. Yeah, that's all I want to talk about. I'm not going to really talk about the season 3 or where it's going. But, I mean, Cobra Kai is just such an awesome fucking show.
It really is. I just hate that we're going to have to wait so long for this third. Who knows how much longer we got to wait for this third season now.
Yeah.
And, I'm already into it. I just recently watched the first 2 seasons. And I'm like already itching. I'm like season 3. I'm like, I don't want to forget about it by the time it starts. Like, that's the problem. We don't know when it's going to start. And
right.
I might have to rewatch season 1 and 2 before season 3 starts again.
Well, I don't know. I no longer have YouTube Red.
Right.
So I used, and I don't know why, but I don't know why I was able to use the second free, I used the free trial for the first season, binge watched it in one night, canceled my subscription, and then for some reason I was able to do it. And I had the same email. I was able to do the same thing for the second season. I was like, all right, and I did the same thing. So I don't know. All right, so let's go into some other news. So we got now. I have watched this. I didn't watch this when it first came out in the 80s. I watched it, I want to say maybe about anywhere between 5 and 10 years ago. So we're talking about this. So the Labyrinth, the original movie with David Bowie, Jennifer Connelly, is getting a greenlit sequel, and it has a director attached. So this has been in talks for a while now, but now they have a director, and that director is Scott Derrickson. And for anybody that doesn't know who Scott Derrickson is, he directed the first Doctor Strange. Okay. He was actually in line to direct the sequel, and then he dropped out, which wasn't a good sign, but that's something different. Right. But he also directed The Day the Earth Stood Still with Keanu Reeves.
Oh, it's the remake, right?
The movie Sinister, which I thought the first one.
Yeah, the first one was really good.
Really good.
Yeah.
And The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Emily Rose, that was a good movie too.
Yeah. So Scott Derrickson. And that's the reason why a lot of people were hoping he was going to do the sequel, because they said that the sequel to Doctor Strange 2, I'm sorry, not to Labyrinth, but we'll get there in a minute. The sequel to Doctor Strange 2 was supposed to have like that horror vibe, to which he has so much experience in. But I'm now even intrigued to see what he does with the Labyrinth sequel.
Yeah.
And there's also
take on it, that's for sure.
There's speculation and rumors that Jennifer Connelly might come back.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't, as I said, I really don't remember much about this movie. Did you watch it as a kid? Did you like it?
I don't remember a lot about it. I just remember like images from it. I mean, I wouldn't be able to sit here and tell you a scene or anything like that. I'd probably have to watch it over again.
End scene. Okay. But so anybody that is a fan of the original 80s classic, there is a greenlit sequel. So there's that. Moving on. So Tom Cruise's space movie, which is still untitled, gets a director, and that director is none other than Doug Liman.
Okay, this is an interesting story.
Yeah.
Doug Liman, who directed Swingers.
Yeah, I was about to say that. So Doug Liman directed Swingers, The Bourne Identity, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Jumper, Edge of Tomorrow, and American Made. Now, both those movies, The Edge of Tomorrow and American Made, starred Tom Cruise. Okay. So he already has a relationship with Tom Cruise, and he's also doing the sequel to The Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise.
Okay.
So now, so whenever you get a director that has a good relationship to the lead actor, it's always a good thing.
Yeah, you know it's going to work out in their favor anyway.
And honestly, dude, director aside, just the fact that this is going to be the first movie to be actually filmed in space, it already had my money to begin with.
Oh yeah, I mean that's going to be something spectacular.
Yep. So we'll see if anything else comes up, in the near future, or whether the movie when the movie gets a working title, or I should say once the movie finally gets a title, and when we get a release date. But also going to movies, this is another one. So Cineworld, who owns all the Regal theaters as well, is set to open. Now, Cineworld is the second biggest cinema franchise in the world. Oh, wow. And they're only second to AMC. AMC is the biggest. AMC has yet to really lay out a detailed plan or any scheduled date to when they want to open up their theaters, but Cineworld has set to open in July, and they want to open it in time to house the Tenet movie and Disney's Mulan, which is also scheduled to open up in July.
That's big news, definitely.
Yeah. So we'll see. But obviously, dude, they still have to work out the logistics. They still have to work out how they go about opening. So things can still change. Things can definitely.
They don't have a lot of time to do it, so I'm assuming they're jumping on things now.
Right. Right. So we'll see what happens. But right now, as it's stated, Cineworld and Regal are set to open up worldwide theaters, not just in the country.
Right.
Worldwide theaters. So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Then we got I got this one. Indiana Jones 5 gets a new director. Now, obviously, Steven Spielberg has directed, I believe, all 4 of them, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure he did. He was also slated to direct the 5th one. He dropped out. I feel like this project is doomed. It has a new director in James Mangold. He's most famously known for recently for directing Logan.
Walk the Line he directed too.
Right, right. But I mean, and I know we talked about this so many times, but honestly, I just want to mention it. Now that Steven Spielberg is not directing and he's not attached to it, right? Now I don't know if he's going to produce it, but he's not directing it.
I don't know if that necessarily means that it's doomed.
No, I think it's doomed because Harrison Ford is 80 years old.
Well,
do you want to see an 80-year-old Indiana Jones?
No, but you know what? Then they should have ended it. I don't know why they need to keep making.
I think they should have ended it. Yeah. I honestly think they should have ended it.
After 4.
No.
After 3. Yeah.
I think The Last Crusade should have been The Last Crusade. No pun intended. There is absolutely no reason.
Ride, pal. That's it. You're done. After this.
And the other thing is, too, no, I don't want you to reboot it. No, because Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones.
That's it.
So if you're not going to get that young, charismatic, and I'm not saying he's not charismatic anymore, but that young, I mean, the action sequences and everything that came with Indiana Jones.
You just can't. Some things you just can't do over and expect it to be better than it was originally. It doesn't happen.
Right.
We know this.
I mean, that being said, the movie comes out tomorrow. Am I in the theaters watching it? I mean, obviously in a pandemic less. Without a pandemic.
As a Harrison Ford fan, I still want to see the movie.
I'll go. Yeah. Of course I'll go. But I just this is what it's coming down to. Terminator movies with an older Arnold Schwarzenegger, Rocky movies with an older Sylvester Stallone, or even
Rambo in a wheelchair.
I mean, yeah, it's just like enough is enough. I love this character. Stop it, because all you're doing,
you're ruining the movie.
You're ruining the franchise.
Right.
So, whatever. So, yeah. So, James Mangold is going to be directing it. So, let's see what he does. Look, as I said, when it comes out, am I going to go see it? I don't know if I'll see it in the movies, but, even if I do, of course I want to see it because I'm an Indiana Jones fan.
Of course.
But, I don't know. With that being said, I don't know. I just feel like, at a certain time, at a certain age, an actor, or at least the actor's agent, should know, be like,
time to call it quits.
I think you should pass on this one, buddy.
Yeah. Indy, more like oldie.
Indy, old Indiana Jones.
Old Indiana Jones.
All right. So then the other big story this week, and when I say big, it's for people that are, basically DC and comic book fans. But Henry Cavill is reported to be set to return as Superman. Now, there are no talks about a standalone movie just yet. No Man of Steel 2, but he is going to probably be in sequels to like Shazam, Aquaman, things of that nature. Maybe even the Black Adam movie.
I liked Man of Steel. I know you said you weren't that crazy about it, but I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was all right.
I didn't think it was bad. I enjoyed the first half of Man of Steel. I didn't like the second half.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you explained why you didn't like it.
But now that they're coming out with the Zack Snyder cut, and now that they have plans to do other DC projects within HBO Max, this is where this comes in. Now, J.J. Abrams is already linked, has already been, I believe he's going to be producing the Justice League Dark series for HBO Max.
That's interesting.
So that's what he's going to do. He's going to be dealing with Green Lantern. He's going to be dealing with other characters. Now, the reason why they're not saying whether Henry Cavill is going to be part of that is because they want to give now again, I don't know if JJ is going to be directing as well, but he is producing. So they want to give leeway to whoever director they do get to do this series or whatever.
Right.
I guess they want to give him the option to pick his Superman. Because the thought process always was to recast Superman, pick a younger actor to fall in line with the Robert Pattinson's Batman. However, now that Henry Cavill has been reported to come back and return as Superman, they might just use him in JJ's rumored project.
That makes sense.
So, So there's a lot set on that and HBO Max. That's why I said there's a lot of things coming within HBO Max, which is cool.
Which would, like you said, like we talked about earlier, that it might be better to wait than jumping on HBO Max right away.
Right.
When more, like you said, when more original content starts showing up, then it might be a better chance to jump ship.
The only reason why they got me is, and again, it's $3, but I felt because times are tough or whatever, $3 is $3. What is it? $36 a month, $36 a year. Rather than paying the $14.99 actual subscription to HBO Max, I got a monthly rate of $11.99 for the next 11 months.
Okay. Yeah. So that's a good deal. Okay. I mean, rather than paying almost $15 a month.
Yeah.
That's a much better deal.
Yeah. So, and again, I've enjoyed it so far. I have enjoyed it so far. There are a lot of things to watch. There are a lot of things that's not necessarily just HBO, but I am looking forward to their original shows, their original content.
Yeah, definitely.
See what they put out. But I also was looking up. I wanted to see if there were any updates with sports. There really isn't many updates. I know with baseball, it really is honestly just it's about money talks. That's basically what the stall is. Baseball wants to, I believe the MLB or at least its owners they're trying to cut and save around $800 million. And that's obviously going to be a part of the players' pockets as well.
Right.
So, and the reason why they're doing that is because they're basically saying, well, we're not going to be getting paid customers. Nobody's going to be coming to the games, just yet. So if we're going to be playing, fanless games, we need to cut costs somewhere.
Sure, absolutely.
So I get it. But, the players, so they have a lot to work on, dude. As far as everything else, the NBA is still trying to eye a July 31st opening. They're in talks. It's all logistics. It's all about how you do it to make it safe for the players and for, possibly, if it comes down to it, the fans.
Right. I mean, at this point, though, baseball, I think, I don't know. Safe to say, it looks like it might be out of the question.
The thing with baseball, though, is, dude, it's June. It's basically June. June is on Monday. They've only would have played 2 months in. So they still have time to negotiate. They do still have time. I think they should just kind of watch the season.
They can't play a full season. Not going to play a full season.
No, it was never about a full season.
Yeah.
The thing is, do they want to open in July, or do they want to make sure they're doing the right thing, work out all the details, work out all the safety measures that they have to take, and then just opening up in August, and then maybe extending the playoffs. The only problem with that,
that's still a possibility. Yeah.
But the only problem with that, a lot of Major League Baseball owners are worried about the possibility. Once the fall cold weather starts to kick in, they are all worried about a possible second wave, and then having to cancel the playoffs. And then what did they just play a shortened season for?
That's another thing in itself. Yeah, exactly.
So there's a lot of things they have to worry about. I think we're more likely to get hockey playoffs and possibly basketball playoffs than we will a shortened. Yeah. I really think that
makes that's a fair statement. That makes sense.
So, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I'm excited either way because I would like to see some type of sports.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm going out of my mind. Just being home, not being able to go anywhere. I at least would want to be able to watch some type of sport.
And I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't know what it is. So if you have Hulu, because I have Hulu, and that's the only way I can watch TV. I'll notice that if I go to sports, besides Sports Center or whatever, Yes Network will have Yankee games, classic games, right? It'll be whatever. I'll click on, and it's usually a different game. The last week or so for the Mets Classic, it's been the same fucking game. It's been Game 6 of the 1986 World Series. I'm like, how many?
Fox is showing the 86. Series.
How many fucking times am I going to watch that one game?
Yeah.
Put something else on. That's not the only game. I mean, yeah, it was their only. It was the last.
Or play another game in that series, even. I mean, you could have. Like
You would think, but the thing is, it's like, yeah, I know that's the last time they won the World Series, but I mean, come on, you could play the fucking 2000 Subway Series. You could play
exactly.
the 99 series against the Braves, the wild card game against the Diamondbacks. I mean, come on, man. And you act like they didn't have anything recent.
Yeah, I know.
But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm going out of my mind. I am trying to watch. I have just started. I told you I'm trying to get you onto it, and I don't know if everybody at home or anybody at home has ever even heard of this. But guys, do yourself a favor. If you like The Family Guy, if you like South Park, if you like those adult raunchy cartoon, animated series, even I know a lot of people really didn't know about this show. It really wasn't that long lived. The League. How many seasons was the League?
No, the League was over 7 seasons.
Oh, it was 7. I thought it was only 5.
No, 7. Yeah, League. All right, so great. Yeah.
What was that on?
On FX. The League is on FX. Yeah.
All right, so if anybody's gotten to watch the League, it was basically about fantasy football.
Yeah, right. I think it was like 5 guys, right? It was like 5.
Yeah, 5. Well, and the wife.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they all did fantasy football, and the picks, and it was basically the fantasy football league. That's what it was about.
Trying to sabotage each other. Yeah,
it was an hysterical series. So a couple of those characters voice a couple of the cartoon characters, the animated kids. Yeah, and it's about adolescents, about pubescent kids that are just coming into puberty, and it is fucking dirty. Like it is such
funny,
they curse, the things that they show you see dicks. You see there's one episode where they're watching a Sylvester Stallone porn, The Italian Stallion. And they're watching it, bro. All he keeps doing, it goes, "Yo, this is great. This is great." Then the one kid gets sucked into the TV, gets sucked into the internet, and they have to go find him. They call him. He's in the pornscape, and they're in a canal. They're on a canal in a canoe.
Yeah.
And what do you call it? Sylvester Stallone is guiding them, and they go through a fucking yellow waterfall, and it's Mickey, Paulie, and a couple of other people just pissing on them. Yo, it's the Mick and it's Paulie. Oh, they're great. Yeah, there are a couple. Don't get me wrong. There are a couple of episodes that are like, but for the most part, it's hysterical. And what they're able to do for a cartoon is great.
That's funny.
It's great.
That's funny. I'm definitely going to check that out. Yeah, definitely.
It's 3 seasons, 25-minute, 26-minute episodes. And it's got
who else is it? Maya Rudolph, right?
Maya Rudolph is in it. What do you call it? Fred Armisen. Fred Armisen. I said Chris Kind, right?
Richard Kind.
Richard Kind. What's the other one though? Jordan Peele.
Oh, Jordan Peele's in it.
Jordan Peele's also in it. Yeah, I mean, there's so many other guest appearances. I told you, Kristen Wiig does a guest appearance.
Right. Yeah.
Jenny. Is it Jenny Slate? Is that her name?
That's the girl from the League. Jenny Slate was the wife on. She was what's his name? His wife on the League.
Which one?
Kevin. She was Kevin's wife on the League.
I don't think we're talking about the same person.
Yeah, we are. Hold on, Jenny Slate. She was on the League. I'm telling you. I know her name.
I don't remember her being in the League. Are you sure?
I'm almost positive, dude. Hold on, I'll tell you right now.
Dude, that's Jenny Slate. Look.
Yeah, I know.
I don't remember her being in the League.
I'm sorry. You know what? I'm wrong. That's my mistake. I'm wrong. Because I'm thinking the wife's name was Jenny on the League.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, that's where I got mixed up there.
So she voices and the other one I think is Jessie Klein. Is that a actress's name or a comedian?
Jessie Klein?
Yeah.
Not that I know of.
Yeah, Jessie Klein. She's an American writer. This is her. That's her.
Yeah, I don't recognize. I'm looking it up right now, actually. Yeah.
She also does one of the female the kids' voices.
Jason Mantzoukas. That's
That's
the actor
Jay.
from.
Yeah,
No, that's Ralphie from
that's
The League.
Rafi. He
Yeah,
plays
yeah,
Jay. He plays Jay in the show.
right. Yeah.
And the other one is too John. I keep forgetting his first name. Is it John Mulaney?
Hold on, I'll tell you right now. John Mulaney,
Yeah.
Andrew Glauberman,
Yeah, he plays Andrew Gladman, and
He's a comedian. Yeah.
his father is voiced by Richard Kind.
Okay.
Yeah. So guys, definitely if you have the time, which I'm sure most of you do right now, go on to Netflix. It's only 3 seasons. It's only 10 episodes each season, and it's like 25-minute. It's literally 25-minute episodes.
Oh, and Mark Duplass was also in an episode. Who's actually from The League too.
Yeah. Wait, Mark Duplass is what?
He was on. He's in the show. I just seen him as a cast member.
Oh shit.
He plays Val Bilzerian. I don't know what season.
Oh, that's Val, I believe, is Jay's one of Jay's brothers.
There you go. That's Mark Duplass.
I would never have known that.
Which makes sense because Mark was in The League. Him and his brother.
Yeah.
Two of them.
Yeah.
And Mark and his brother has also done, if anybody doesn't know, the HBO series Room 104.
I didn't know that.
That's the Duplass brothers. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
It's a weird show.
Yeah, I mean, some episodes are good, some not so good. It's not for everybody, but
yeah.
I mean, overall, it's a decent show. I think. It's not bad.
All right. Well, I guess that's it. All right. If you don't have any other, no, seriously, I'm just saying you don't have anything else lined up, right?
I think tonight was a more than decent show. I thought it was pretty good.
Well, yeah, because we had like so many things to cover. A lot of things really did happen. I just want to make sure nothing was breaking. I know there was talking about releasing the Ayer cut. Ayer is the one that was attached to the Suicide Squad, and he claims that although that his cut, I mean, for the most part, is complete, and he says his cut for the Suicide Squad movie that came out would be easier to get released. So we'll see. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind watching a different version of the Suicide Squad.
I never even watched the original. I gotta watch that.
I didn't hate it. I really didn't hate it. I just didn't like the ending. I didn't like the villain.
How was Jared Leto as the Joker?
Well, that's the other thing. Jared Leto, almost all his scenes were cut.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't get me wrong. He still got some good scenes, but
yeah.
I wasn't crazy about his Joker anyway, though.
So yeah, he's no Joaquin Phoenix. He's no Heath Ledger.
Right.
Completely different take on the Joker.
Exactly. But all right. So everybody that did pop in, thank you for joining. I want to just take this time really quick to remind you guys that as of now, it's still pending. Hopefully everybody still can make it. Nobody backs out, and nothing unforeseeable happens. But as of now,
a trivia show.
We are scheduled to be releasing on Tuesday, 8 p.m. live on here. We are going to be doing the trivia show. So it's basically going to be me, the host, and about 4. I believe we have 4 people lined up in the panel, and I will be asking them a whole bunch of. I mean, guys, it really is going to be a hard trivia. I'm not going to lie. These questions are going to be very tough. But I think it's going to be fun. And look, if need be, I will break it down. I will make a multiple choice, but it'll be obviously viewable for you guys to watch, take score, play at home. You guys can even comment in the chats. I'll be able to see your comments. The panel won't, just because I don't want any manipulation with their answers. But I'm looking forward to it. And I've literally hand wrote. I believe I'm up to 40 movie questions. I might add a couple of more of those. I got 20 sports questions.
You got music questions too?
Music questions, which there aren't many of those, and then TV questions.
All right.
So it's 4 categories, and even the sports is broken up into 4 categories. I did baseball, basketball, hockey, and football. 5 each of those. I really wanted to make this quiz a very well-rounded quiz where nobody feels left out. This may be somebody that may not be knowledgeable in sports, but they may be knowledgeable in movies and vice versa. So I really wanted to make it for everybody.
Well, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, that's the next thing that's coming on. So, guys, once again, if you're interested in trivia and you really
Tuesday night,
come support us. Tuesday night, I will be here. James will be here, and a few other special guests, and we'll be on around the same time at 8 p.m. Again, if everything, if no schedules for anybody else changes, so we'll be doing that. All right.
All right, guys. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching us.
All right, and thank you again, guys, for tuning in. This has been another episode of Real Talk Live with myself and my co-host James Mooney, bringing you the breaking and I guess not just breaking news, but the entertainment news from the weeks past. So, thank you for joining us, and we will see you again next Saturday at 8 p.m. for another episode of Real Talk Live. But again, don't forget that trivia on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Thank you very much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.